Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, then hit the subscribe button because you will find my videos intriguing. Talking about intriguing videos, this one is one of them. Now in this video, a sister talks about how what seems to be a normal phrase actually has a dark meaning behind it. Now she highlights how the good morning phrase isn't what we think it is, but originated from way back in the days of slavery, where slave owners could use this phrase to mock the slaves. Now, this was usually after unaliving black people or after selling off their children or relatives out, and the next morning the oppressors would say good morning to mock them after having to mourn their loved ones the whole night. Now, this is a very interesting video, and I would advise that you grab your popcorns so that we unravel this mysterious story. So come with me as we check out her video.
My guy. Alright, so somebody said it's not the origin, but slave owners did in fact say good morning as wordplay. Alright, so a lot of people acting like I don't know the difference between morning and morning. I know that they're two different words, but y'all are not listening to what I'm saying. You have this morning and you have this morning. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is the phrase good morning came from a dark past. See, I'm not telling y'all that the word morning didn't exist way before. The word morning always existed for centuries. I'm telling y'all that the phrase good morning, the origin of where that phrase came from our oppressors mocking the slaves. See, on the internet, it likes to tell you that John Smiley created the phrase good morning. See, they want to tell y'all that John Smiley created the phrase good morning in 1952 to make his staff feel valued when they came in for work. But it's a lie. The phrase good morning was being used way before 1952. See, there's some older black folks out here that's in their 90s and in their 100s. They'll tell you what their ancestors taught them from what their grandparents taught them. There's some older black folks out here that'll tell you this exact story that's been taught to them and from their family members for generations and generations. They'll tell you that some of their parents told them that back then in slavery times, when the white folks used to hang or sell their children, that the next morning when they will wake up from what happened to a family member after mourning and crying and grieving over what happened to them, that the white folks will mock them and say, did y'all have a good morning? Meaning, did y'all have a good cry about y'all family member or friend that died last night? Like trying to mock them about what happened. Did y'all have a good morning? Did y'all have a good cry? See, because the phrase good morning was being used way before the 1950s. Except it was being used for a different reason. Then John Smiley came out and started using good morning as a way to greet people for the day. See, the problem is these people know exactly what they doing. It's crazy how in the Bible, God said he created the lesser light to rule the night and the brighter light to rule the day. So y'all tell people good night, but y'all don't say good day instead of good morning. Like, make it make sense. What's so good about morning? See, the problem is y'all don't want to learn. Y'all talking about you're hearing that from your grandmother who was told by her grandparents? But y'all the same ones still telling stories about y'all grandparents. How we know those real? How we know the history these white folks telling us real? Like, let's be honest. Everything he say, she say. Everything on the internet made from the white man. They gonna tell y'all his story. What about our story? What about our people's story? Does it not matter? Nah, cause we just gonna go off what the white people say. Okay. Well, y'all gonna go off of what they say. But me, I'm willing to learn. And I'm willing to tell other people. And y'all ain't gonna stop nothing. Because in reality, y'all sleep. I'm gonna tell y'all why y'all sleep. Because y'all don't even know that most of the wordplay that y'all use is actually cursing yourselves. See, the problem is that the elites know the truth. And they use it against us. Like how you spell out a word. Spelling. So let's talk about it. Alright, so pay close attention to what I'm about to say. So when you wake up, they say good morning. So when you're awake, they say good morning. Now listen to this. Now, what do they call this when you go to like funeral viewings? They call this an awake. And you see what they doing? They're mourning at an awake. They're grieving, they're crying, they're mourning at an awake. The same awake that they use to tell y'all good morning. So when you awake to see another day, they tell y'all good morning. And also, when you have an awake for someone's funeral or their viewing, you're having a mourning. You're having a good morning. You're mourning over the death. So when you're at someone's funeral or viewing at their awake, you're also having a good morning towards them. You're having a good cry, trying to let it out. Words are spells. It's the same thing with die and die. All they doing is using wordplay on us. Y'all don't even know that y'all casting spells upon yourselves. See, die means to be dead. And then you also got hair dye. And have y'all ever noticed once y'all put hair dye on y'all head, that y'all hair actually start to die out? You start getting breakage and everything. Now you got dead hair. Come on, I'm gonna need y'all to catch up. Cause I don't think y'all hearing me. So y'all putting hair dye on y'all head and y'all hair really dying. See, because what y'all not realizing is words are free. But it's the way that you use them that might cost you. See, our brain studies sounds and frequency. And it's a big thing. And y'all don't pay attention to it. The science of semantics, which is the study of sound wave and vibration, means people will subconsciously feel negativity when using certain terms of words that have a different meaning but sound the exact same. See, because the brain cares more about the sound of the word rather than the spelling of the word. Sound and music actually changes our brain waves. This all traces back to how we feel when we hear certain genre of music or certain words or certain noises. So y'all don't even know when y'all trying to tell people to have a good morning, y'all really wishing them to have a sad day. The mind will subconsciously think of mourning, grief, sorrow. See, the problem is y'all need to wake up and renew y'all's minds. Y'all don't even realize that saying good morning is cursing yourself. See, the problem is y'all don't know that. But the people that came up with these words, best to believe they know that. And they want y'all to stay asleep. See, they want y'all to laugh at me. And I'm cool with it. Cause y'all ain't gonna stop nothing. They want y'all to see me as a joke. See, because the guy who even made education, he even said he don't want people to be thinkers for themselves. He wants y'all to be workers. So that should tell y'all about the school system already. They don't want y'all to be thinkers. They don't want y'all finding out the truth. They want y'all to be workers. Do what they say. Learn what they want y'all to know. Believe what they want y'all to believe. They don't want y'all finding nothing out. They want to keep people lost. They want y'all to think how they want y'all to think. Y'all mad at the stuff that our great-great-grandparents be teaching us and trying to automatically tell me that they lies. But y'all got stories about y'all great-great-great-great-grandparents doing all this extra stuff that y'all's parents probably told y'all. And I bet y'all believe all of it. But when it's coming from a black person trying to teach what they great-grandparents taught them, then it's a problem. But when it's y'all white folks being taught what y'all great-great-grandparents did back in the day, fought in all these wars and doo-doo-doo-doo, then it's okay for y'all to believe that. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But as soon as I say something, y'all mad. See, and the problem is, y'all gonna have to stay mad. Cause I'ma stay telling it all. Words are spells. And especially in the English language. And good morning is one of them. Just like I told y'all, they didn't tell y'all where the origin of master bedroom came from. That ain't in history books. Just like the phrase master bedroom when you get a home, that came from the slave masters. They got that phrase literally from slavery, the master's bedroom. Cause they always had the biggest room with the best appliances. And that's why it's been called master's bedroom for all this time. That phrase even came from slavery. And they still saying that shit till this day. So like I said, the words morning and die, all those words that sound the same but got different meanings, that's a subconscious trap. That's wordplay to play with your head. Just like when someone say, damn you. You know, the actual dam means to block off something. Like they use a dam to block off water. They trying to block off your energy when they tell you, damn you. Certain wordplay is spells on the brain. Y'all better realize that the tongue is powerful. Just like when y'all be laughing and y'all be like, I'm dead, I'm dead. Why you saying that you dead? You speaking stuff upon you and don't even know it. See, in the Bible, God tells you that the Word was with God and the Word was God. God says he give us the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. The mind means more than y'all ever will know. And I'm hoping one day y'all gonna realize that.
Now, for black men and women, slavery was an equally devastating experience. Both were torn from homeland and family. Both were forced to perform grueling labor, subjected to mental and physical degradation, and denied their most basic rights. Now, enslaved men and women were beaten mercilessly, separated from loved ones, and regardless of gender, treated as property in the eyes of the law. Now, the first Africans taken to the Americas went in small numbers, not directly from Africa, but via Spain and Portugal and the Atlantic Sea islands. However, this created a growing demand for African slaves. Other Europeans settling their colonies in the Caribbean and North America followed the Brazilian pattern, and because slaveholders creating profitable plantations that produced commodities for international markets. Slavery was very cruel to most black slaves, especially the field hands. They were beaten, whipped, branded, pierced, had limbs amputated, and unalived in various ways. Now, as women were often as abused by white masters, their sons, and overseers. More importantly, many families were separated when members were sold. Now, in a lot of situations, the most fertile enslaved women and men were often chosen to be together in order to produce more children. Most were forbidden to marry unless their honors permitted it, and many marriages were not formalized until it ended. Now, they were forbidden to learn to read and write, kept ignorant so that they would not be aware of their plight. It would be a contradiction for them to find out that they were living enslaved in the land of the free. Now, they were told it was in their best interest to remain slaves. They were forbidden to congregate, especially for religious services, unless approved by their masters. Now, all these atrocious and inhumane treatment to people. To add more salt to the wound, a sister is telling us about a phrase which we thought is just a normal phrase. Just like we have heard in her video, she said good morning was normally used to mock slaves after selling off their relatives or unaliving their loved ones the next morning. Now, the phrase good morning would be used to mock their mourning or crying for their loved ones the previous night. Now, I'm not really sure about this because I have tried to do a research and I just couldn't get information or find a source for this. Like she said that these stories are told by great grandparents, and maybe this is a part that was not written down at the time, but if you have information about what a sister is saying or talking about, then kindly share with us in the comments where we can access the information. Now, talking about knowing, not knowing, or not being sure about this, let's check some of the comments and hear what people had to say about this. Now, the first comment reads, "You are right. I'm in my 60s and my mom in her 80s and my grandmother told me the same thing you are saying. Remember, knowledge is power." Okay, this one says the origin comes from the medieval period in Europe, hence why every single European language greets with good morning in their own language. Now, this one says, and you know this how? You are saying a lot with no proof. What you said has no basis in facts, history, or truth. This one says, good morning exists in literature that predates the Atlantic slave trade. The tongue is powerful, so let's not use it to speak facts, not speculations, and drawing conclusions to things that don't correlate. Guys, the comment section is on fire. Some are agreeing, some are not. But what do you, my viewers, think about this? Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section and let's get talking. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.